What did you say?
I said Guido was getting back to me on when he was gonna come see you, but he hasn't got around to it yet. There you go.
Always.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, we are. Good afternoon, everybody. We will call our regular meeting of the Butler Community College Board of Trustees to order. It's our March 10th meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Shelley's still here. What did you say?
Yes. Okay. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? If not, would entertain a motion to approve it.
I move that we approve the agenda. I'll second.
Hey, trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay,
Is
great.
everybody's light on?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, 6-0, that passes. Dr. Daniel, recognitions.
Callie Bitterlin, instrumental music instructor and athletic band director. She was selected to conduct the 11th and 12th grade USD 259 All-City Honor Band. She guided students through 8 hours of rehearsal, culminating in a performance at Century 2 on February 2nd. The experience reflected both her leadership and strong partnership between Butler and the area high school. So congratulations, Callie. Is she?
He's here.
She's not here.
She's not. Okay.
Okay, next our Argos reporting team transition, Carmen, Willow, Greg, and Roger. These guys have recently completed the first phase of transitioning IR reporting from legacy databases to the current Argos reporting platform, a really big lift for the college and such an important one. This transition was ultimately reduce the time spent on regulatory reporting and allow the team to focus on more value-added analytics. I'm so appreciative of what they've done. Thank you so much.
I did here. Dr. Daniel, will you tell us each one, please? There's Willow. Yay!
And then we have Dr. Jenna Gannon. Is she here? She's not here. But Dr. Gannon recently presented a session titled From the Community College to Graduate School and Back Again. She did this at WSU's annual Ad Astra conference. She also helped coordinate quite a few attendees from our Butler students, faculty, and staff at the conference, where they explored ways to improve student persistence and outcomes. So appreciative of her spending the time on that presentation and wrangling our staff and students together. So thank you.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Anybody for public comment? Anyone that's here wish to do public comment? Seeing nobody jumping up, we will move on to standing reports and start with student government. I saw Sam here. Oh, yeah, if you would just. That's fine.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sam from Student Government. The events that we put out this semester were the Sweetheart Dance by Student Government at 7 p.m. in the Welcome Center on February 13th. The period products that we put out in the Student Union building, we're still continuing with that this semester. We have a new tradition in the Student Government building where we put food items with 2 or less months of shelf life outside for grabs, which has helped us reduce waste. We have also received expired food from well-intended people and advise them to check the expiration date before donating, along with giving the clothes a wash before donating since we do not have a washer and dryer in the student union building. As of 2026 fall, we have 3 members in student government, all executive members, and retention has been low for student government this semester. Our pantry has been restocked with gluten-free products this semester, which is a big achievement for us. That will be all. Are there any questions or comments? Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. Harry Smith, off staff.
Operational staff will be well represented at the 57th Annual ACOP Conference, which will be in April, which will be hosted this year by Labette Community College. A group of 12 Butler staff members plan to attend the conference. Butler is also strongly represented in leadership within ACOP, with 5 staff members currently serving on the executive board. Meredith Helton is president, Patty McFadden, past president, Olivia Coons, secretary, and Natasha Gravatt, historian, and Nancy Daw, member at large. We're still accepting silent auction donations for the event that will be held on April 2nd during IDD. The deadline for donation submissions is March 31st. Questions?
Thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Professional employees, Camille.
Hello, everyone. Right now, we're in the middle of the semester, which means midterms, and this is a tough time for a lot of our students. They're stressed out, they're overwhelmed, many of them are in need of extra help. And when students are having a difficult time, our professional employees step up to support them. This means more tutoring, more advising appointments, more time spent offering study strategies, time management advice, and just general emotional support. This is demanding work that often extends beyond classroom and office hours, but it is work that our professional employees take on because they care about the students they serve. Our students are the reason this institution exists, and our professional employees are essential to helping those students succeed. As we move into the second half of this semester, and as budget conversations begin to wrap up, I ask the board to keep in mind the importance of investing in the people who do the work. Strong institutions are built on strong personnel, and supporting the employees who serve our students is a necessary investment in Butler's future. Thank you for your time. Do you have any questions? Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Board Finance Committee. Aaron, Dave.
Well, everything looked all okay, except for in auxiliary sources. There is a difference there, but that's still, it's kind of being checked out right now on money being recorded for the dorms at the fire science area. And that's the only anomaly. And like last month, we got the clean bill of health from the account. So that was always good
2
news.
months ago.
Well, we got the book this month or last month.
Okay, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Foundation Board, the Foundation Board met last month. Really, the most notable thing to talk about is for those that were able to attend the annual gala auction was Friday night. Was a wonderful event. Raised $330,000, which I understand is a new record. If you were there, the evening end, they do the silent auction and the live auctions and everything, and it ends with what they call pure philanthropy, which is just people donating cash. It's just, there's nothing in exchange. There was a $20,000 donation. There were multiple $5,000 donations. Was it 140,000 total, Tom, that was just raised in that portion? And so, I mean, it's
That is amazing.
the support that the college has from people around here that are that's just to support our students, and nothing else to it. It's just fantastic. So it was a neat event. Would encourage, if you were unable to go this year, it'll happen again next year. So would encourage you to go.
It was a fun event.
President's report, Dr. Daniel.
Hi, yes, this will be mostly legislative. So the first thing was Saturday in Andover, there was a legislative coffee, and I did attend that. Representative Christy Williams was there, Representative Susan Humphreys, Representative Sandy Pickert. were the legislators that were present. Dr. Oman also attended. And I will tell you that I asked I asked the first question, I guess, of the day about performance funding and the direction that the state was going in terms of that. And Christy Williams definitely, answered that question and said, we are looking in the direction of performance funding. Don't know exactly, how that's going to lay out, but was willing to partner and talk about, the ways that we could go do it. I will tell you that I was really impressed with everything she had to say. And she really talked a lot about how appreciative she was to the community colleges in general for the way that we were the only entity in the state that has come forward and given cuts, substantial cuts to budgets to offer up. And so she was fantastic. We even took a picture together and she just sent it to me a couple minutes ago, right before the board meeting started. So anyway, I think we're doing well in terms of political pressure that we've had in the past. I think things are turning around for us. Just being more transparent. I'm really proud of our group. BCC family has been fantastic. Everybody has really worked together. So I'm very appreciative of my staff in particular who have worked on this, and the deans, as well as the faculty and staff members who've been involved. So I want to thank them for that. Other things that have gone through legislation, affectionately Senate Bill 244, known as the bathroom bill. We have a little bit of work to do internally just to identify, but basically what that says is that individuals must enter the bathroom corresponding to the sex that they were born with. So it also has a little bit of impact and lift on us in terms of locker rooms. We have to make sure that, if a visiting team is using the opposite sex locker room, that we have put a sign up appropriately. So a little bit of things inside, but we feel like we're in pretty good shape. It's just making sure that the signage is there and we do our due diligence. We've had some conversations earlier about it and our team is on top of it. So I'm not worried about it. It does come with a lot of penalties, fines, if for any reason, somebody brings that forward to the state. So we have to do our due diligence and be careful, but I feel like we're in good shape there. Senate Bill 155.
Bill.
That's right.
ACLU has already filed a lawsuit
Yes.
against it.
Oh.
So, which is good. I mean, not advocating either side. That's what needed to happen.
That's
There's too much
exactly.
uncertainty with other laws and Supreme Court decisions. We need to get the courts to step in and decide
Yes.
That's
what-
great.
what's right. So,
26th is it.
I'm sorry.
I think the 26th is the date.
Oh, the effective, I'm not sure what the effective date is.
I think you're right. Senate Bill 155, we knew that we were taking some cuts in that. One that we didn't really expect to happen was we expected the business and marketing classes to be moved to non-tiered funding. Tiered funding. And in fact, they are looking at moving that to tiered funding. So that will be a slight additional cut, but it's manageable. Student success funds, we are still sitting at, the Senate has recommended 0 in student success funds. The House has has represented us as having 50% of our student success funds and it being sunsetted after this year. We don't know where that will happen, where it will end up. We know it will be no better than 50% because they don't go that direction, but it could be 0, it could be 50%. So that's where we are on that. And that is the end of what I have. We do have some very important basketball games tonight. I just did want to mention that. So if you're free and you're able to go to the games tonight, the girls and the guys are both in the second round of the Jayhawk Conference. They both had byes for the first round, so they're in the second round. If they win, they will continue on. Otherwise, it's a single elimination. So we're rooting them on tonight. Some big fun games.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after this.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Daniel. Educational facilities, we did meet last month. They are working through, there's a couple of boxes that are reserved that are going to apparently going to transition ownership, which is just part of the process. So nothing unusual there. They are working still towards replacing the scoreboard, and there's more to come on that as it comes. But I think the goal is to have that done by the start of football season or soon. Yeah. So
Have you ever thought about putting sun visors up on that big glass window? Or some kind of a tent to block the sun?
I don't know which big glass
The
window
one
you're-
where you look out at?
from the parking lot side or from the,
No,
or,
from the field side.
so if you're in the middle of the second floor in the middle
Second,
area?
Third floor,
Oh, I'm not aware that, I don't know that that's ever been brought up before. Dave, is that something that was been?
I'd
I
love to
don't-
know what the energy bill is on that.
I don't think it's ever, in the past, it had never been brought up. Uh, I mean, on the west side, you could do, now with some of the graphics that you can put on windows, that may be a way of cutting down on energy there, but
It'd have to be a sun visor or a sunshade of some sort.
and I don't know
Freaking
what the
sun.
heat or the air conditioning is set at when it's, that's an Ireland question.
Well, they have-
I just looked around and I saw him.
Actually, on the west side, we actually have blinds to cut down the sun and stuff. On the east side, we do not, because most of the time when the fans are in those suites and stuff, the sun's behind them, so we haven't did that. But the biggest problem is it's all glass, of course, which is hard to heat and cool. In the summertime, we actually have the temperatures up to almost 80 in there, just because if we get any warmer than that, it starts affecting ceiling tiles and other technology and stuff in there. In the wintertime, we have it set at about 76, 78, just warm enough to keep pipes from freezing down below if it gets too cold. So
Could you tell me next month what our bill is?
yeah, it depends on the time of year, of course, but it's total electric. And if we have a cold winter, it can run up to $6,500 a month. But normally it's around 2,500 to 3,500, but I'll verify that and have it for you.
Thanks, Arlen. Let's move on to monitoring reports. Dr. Guerrero.
Good afternoon, everyone. Before I take questions, I just wanted to quickly thank you for all of your support throughout the year. I know that we've had several equipment items, MOUs, opportunities for course expansion, opportunities for our students to complete requirements. I can tell you that we're making progress at the SBA training, healthcare training center. And we'll be sure to invite you to the ribbon cutting at the end of the summer. At Phillips Fundamental Learning Center, our classes, we've had 11 classes visit the center. Another 6 are scheduled next month. And we've had about 35 to 40 students observe, our intro to special education student observe at the center. Yeah, so I know that this is all attributed to your support, so I just wanted to thank you. And now I'll open up to questions.
I noticed early childhood education enrollment is dropping. And I called Augusta today to find out how many people had enrolled in their program. And the director of curriculum was not there, but I'd sure like to know if we're losing them to Augusta High School.
You said early childhood education?
Well, just from 2021, it's gone down from 91 to 63. And then on the top of page 6 on pre-nursing, and then it has criminal justice, the figures are the same. Is that correct?
On page 6 for pre-nursing and criminal justice?
Yes, sir.
I think the highlighted one is just a total.
Okay, so
On
on,
criminal justice, either it's 11, 13, 18, or 14.
yes, ma'am. So in criminal justice, we have 2 pathways. One is the Criminal Justice Associate's Degree of Arts, and in the Public Safety Associate's Degree of Arts. In the public safety, that's a brand new pathway, so we haven't had any completers yet. So all of the completers in the criminal justice
Are the same.
department are the criminal justice majors, not the public safety majors.
And what do you think the increase is for fire education. Went from 37 to 100. That's wonderful. What'd you guys do? Page 6, middle of the page.
Where's your 37? Or did I mishear you?
2021.
Yeah, it started in 2021. So in 2021 was a COVID, era. So that might have had an impact on enrollment numbers during that time.
But you've doubled enrollment in the last year.
Well, I can tell you that Evan Sywert and his team are working hard to,
Good.
I
That's
mean, marketing,
wonderful.
promoting, we're expanding. Again, attributed to your support, we've expanded to other areas in our service area, our new locations.
Congratulations.
Okay, I'll
That was
be sure to let them know.
Wonderful.
Have we done something different on the EMT front? I mean, it looks like that fire and EMS education number is largely attributed to a huge increase in the EMT. Is there something that we're doing differently, or was it just a spike in enrollment? Or are these completions or? These are complete. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
true.
That's-
Majors as well.
We've expanded to new locations, but and this is a team effort. I mean, again, I attribute a lot of this to Evan and his team. Our marketing efforts, especially with Angie, pumping out social media. I know Early College Academy is also promoting, some of these courses. So, I mean, there's lots of avenues for increased enrollment.
I think I need to ask Janet the question, my next question. How did the nurses do on their first try for taking the test?
For 2025.
The reason why I asked,
you go.
Butler of Winfield is bragging that they've got 100%.
I know. Well, it's a small cohort. It was only 7 students. So when they all passed, that's a big deal.
Uh-huh.
It was 88.64 overall. So it's very, very good. It was a drop from the previous year, total, but per National Council State Boards of Nursing, who is, they write the NCLEX, they said that drop is to be anticipated. They saw it across the country. It's nothing. And they think that the previous year was an abnormal occurrence and that where we're sitting right now is what is a very good place to be.
Good.
So, yeah. I didn't break them out specifically. So they probably are a little bit, that 100% from the Butler of Winfield probably pulled the rest of the traditional students up. So, but anyway,
Thank you.
really happy.
You bet.
I think
Also-
one other thing to consider too. Okay, it's blinking, so we're not really sure if it's on or if it's off. But I will say, as far as enrollment goes, like for EMT, Julio mentioned there's a lot of factors. I think something to keep in mind is that program has an enrollment coach that's also really focused on getting students through the entire process.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's wonderful. The Nursing Advisory Council, is there any way we can get the members of all the different councils we have here at the college, like who's on the Diesel Mechanic Advisory Council? And did the meet?
Yes, we'll
did
be happy to
everybody
do that.
show up on the advisory council?
A lot of them
There's
show
a
up.
lot of
Occasionally somebody's gone, but I would say holistically, we have
Good.
good participation.
And they're people from outside the college?
Yes.
Yes, for the nursing, I can speak for nursing. We have our college, so our articulation partners, KU, WSU, some major partners, as well as our major clinical affiliates. We look at our students, faculty, of course, our lead faculty. And I would say that we have probably over a 90% attendance rate. So it's pretty well attended.
You meet once a quarter?
Well, once a semester is what
Once a
we're
semester.
required, yeah. And then ad hoc or as needed.
And at,
You.
at the foundation dinner or the auction, I was invited by an advisor on the diesel mechanics to come and see their facility. So. And I think I'm gonna take them up on it just to see.
Any other questions for Julio? Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you, Julio.
Okay, we're move on to our strategic discussion items. It's on page 25 of the board book. Following along. First one is, actually, it looks like, Aiden, you've got both of them tonight, back to back. So,
Thank you. Jessica,
Thank you.
have those two ladies been back? The ones that are doing all the advising?
They're not working, the strategic higher ed
Yes.
consultants, they're not working with me and my departments right now. They're working with marketing.
Okay, thank you. So first topic for discussion is academic cost accounting tool. So previously we had been contracting with Forbes, as you know, to have them create a tool for us that would do academic cost accounting and analysis. We have gone down the path of trying to recreate this internally. We feel this is appropriate in large part because we were providing them all the information to create the tool for us. So this is an opportunity for us to save some funds and get information generated in a more timely manner. What I've got here is a draft, and I've just chosen one program as an example, Diesel Technology. But I'll just kind of walk you through what is here. So top section, we're looking at the contribution margin of the program without state aid and with state aid. So the state aid portion, we're able to pull from information housed on the KBOR website and map that into the different courses and programs. And the gross tuition, we're able to pull this from efforts that we do every summer in our department to provide information to KBOR. So it's work that we're already doing and we're able to leverage that. So that's giving us some top line revenue there. On the expense side, this is information that we have internally and that we were providing to Forbes in terms of faculty salaries associated with this subject and any additional compensation for overload and things like that. So you can see in this particular example, the contribution margin attributable to this particular subject area, diesel technology, excluding state aid and including state aid. Then providing a little bit more color on where we are seeing that information. So in the middle section, we can see unduplicated headcount, credit hours, and tuition revenue generated by the residency status. So how much of our activity comes from in-district students, from out-of-district students, and from out-of-state or international students. So giving us that breakout there. And then the bottom table, this is showing us some duplicated headcount, as well as the credit hours generated and tuition generated by course. So this is just an example of some of the information that we are developing that would be available for every academic program. And our thought would be that we also incorporate this into annual processes that we have with our faculty to go over program review. We currently do this under the portfolio of the Provide. If you've been familiar with that, this will be part of the components that's incorporated with that going forward. So this is kind of where we're at right now. It's still in development, but hopefully making good progress. And we'll continue to enhance this and provide information to aid in decision-making across the college.
Would the long-term plan be to incorporate like expense items into, I'm assuming that Diesel Tech has expenses to offer the program beyond just faculty salaries and compensation?
We certainly could, yes. So there's other information that we could, if we get further down the P&L, if we wanted to have those views as well.
Thank you for reports you send us. You get those
welcome.
and they're looking very, very nice.
Good, thank you.
On gross tuition, is that just tuition and fees?
So this is actually just tuition. I have the fee number as well, but it's not included in this display.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Is much of this, Aiden, having to input new data? Or is it just taking data that already exists and finding a way to create a report that pulls it in the right places?
By and large, taking existing data and trying to map that coherent report. The way that We're trying to build this. Will also be transferable to other institutions if they'd like to take advantage of it. So pulling these state aid offline, pulling information out of what we submit to KBOR every summer, that's something that every college does. So we're building it in such a way that they can replicate it if they wanted to.
But I do want to brag a minute. He's underestimating it a little bit. I mean, think about all the courses that we have in the tiered and the non-tiered funding and where everything falls. It all has to be mapped appropriately in order to get that information. So it is time intensive, and he's done a really great job at the way he's approaching it. And so we're really appreciative of that.
Thank you.
Yeah, as you have more time to digest that, have any other questions or requests, just let me know. The other item I wanted to discuss, on page 117, the new supplemental information. So wanting to provide the board and all of our stakeholders some additional information about the college. So some of these metrics you might be used to seeing. Some of these might be new to you. Some of these will be updated probably on a semi-annual basis, some annually, depending on what the metric is. But I'll just kind of walk through the metrics starting on 117 and how they tie into the different strategic plan initiatives that we have. So page 117 is dedicated to our first goal, supporting student success. So we're looking at enrollment initially. So we can see that for fall 2025, we had the highest credit hours in over 5 years and highest head count in about 4 years. Spring enrollment is the highest we've seen since 2021, I believe, if not 2020.
Wonderful.
So great trends there in the past couple of years. What is also provided below there, several different disaggregations of the information so you can see where our students are enrolling, where they're coming from, where they're taking classes, what their characteristics are. So we can see first table, their residency. About 70% almost are coming out of district, about a quarter of them in district, and then less than 10% are coming from out of state or international. We can see that the gender spread. So the majority of our students are female. We can see the spread by race and ethnicity. So we do actually have a very diverse student population. So that's nice to see. Student type, this will change, mix a little bit when you compare a fall to a spring semester. But right now we have quite a bit of our students that are continuing or high school students. Come fall, you'll see more new and transfer students on that list. We can see our enrollment and credit hours by division. Going over to location, this one is a little bit unique. So the head count and will not add up to what you see in the other tables because students may take courses at multiple locations, with online being one of those key multiple locations. So just keep that in mind. This is going to be a duplicated head count, but you can see online is our biggest location. So half of our credit hours come from online enrollment. And then you can see the other locations. And then finally, the degree level there. So getting on into next section, this is more related to student outcomes. So our retention metric, this is from iPEDS, so we have to publish this annually. We're going through the fall collection right now, so we'll have an updated metric on that in the next couple of months. Graduation rate was just updated. So we're now at 33%. This is the highest graduation rate we've had since I think 1999. So great progress there. So it's definitely something to be celebrated. This is one of the key things that as a college we strive for. Transfer rate, metric 1.4. This will have somewhat of an inverse relationship to graduation rate, but also this is indicating success that a student has transferred on to a 4-year to work on their degree there. Metric 1.5. This is from KBOR website looking at of the students who transfer to a Kansas State University, what their GPA and transfer hours are when they go there. So definitely setting them up for success with that GPA and that amount of hours. So that's the first section.
Question.
Yeah.
On enrollment by location,
Yeah.
spring 2026. What's other?
Every once in a while, we'll have non-standard sites where we might have one course offered. So that's what that is.
What? Give me an example.
I will have to follow up with you on that. I don't.
Okay, I just wondered. Yeah.
On the online percentage, what would you guess? What percentage of that group of online students are dedicated online versus students that are doing a mix of in-person, either El Dorado or Andover,
Yes.
and doing some online classes?
So when I look at it from the student perspective, about roughly a third of our students are fully online, roughly a third are partially online, partially on ground, and then a third are taking classes on ground exclusively.
Okay, thank you.
And some of those online are athletes, because I know like the whole softball team, they're all online because of travel and things like that. So
Aiden, question on the transfer hours, is
Yeah.
that what the 4-year is reporting back that they've accepted towards the degree that they're pursuing in the 4-year, or is that the hours that they're accepting from Butler?
The hours they're accepting to their institution for Butler.
So how many people would that be?
I don't know offhand. I can look that up and get back to you.
Okay, I'd like to know that.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that one? Okay. So goal 2, we're looking at advanced communities and partnerships. So building relationships that strengthen the workforce and community. So a couple of the metrics here. First one, we're looking at graduate wages. So what are the postgraduate outcomes? So you may remember seeing this a year ago if you were here when we started looking at some of the advanced metrics for the institution, looking at how Butler's wages compare to other community colleges, 1 year post-graduation and 5-year post-graduation. So you can see how that has trended upward over time and how there is a positive gap between us and the average of our peers. So that's good news there. Metric 2.2, graduate employment. So looking similarly, the percentage of students who are employed, graduates who are employed within 1 year of graduation and after 5 years of graduation. And again, a positive delta relative to the average of the other community colleges.
That's wonderful.
Yes, definitely. So again, another outcome coming to Butler. Metric 2.3, high school enrollment. So this is kind of looking at, in some ways, pipeline of students that will come here after taking courses in high school. So these are fall enrollment numbers, but roughly on average, about 20% of our student body are enrolled in high schools. And you can see there's a bit of a variability in the number of high schools that are represented, but we do have some very key high school partners that are providing a lot of enrollment semester after semester. So again, that's that community partnership, that's that pipeline of new students to come in, hopefully to Butler. Goal 3, enhance employee success and excellence. So looking at metric 1, student faculty ratios, this is one that you might be familiar with just in higher ed in general, and we talked about this one a little bit before. I look at this from 2 perspectives. And what I've got in here, kind of the 2 components that build that up, the students as well as the faculty. So the student faculty ratio, it has trended for the past few years upward slightly, and it has been slightly above the Kansas Community College average. So in my mind, as long as that's not an exorbitant number, that tells me that we are being slightly more efficient than average in staffing our classrooms. You could argue there's a threshold. Is a class too small? You might not have an engagement, or is a class too big? You get the lecture hall stories from a 4-year institution. But I would say that those are good numbers there. I'd also point to the full-time faculty and how that has fluctuated with our enrollment. So that also shows a level of nimbleness in our staffing based on the needs of a particular term. Metric 3.2, so this is the expense per 12-month FTE student. So this again is kind of an efficiency metric here. And I would point to, our metrics compared to the Kansas Community College average. Very positive gap there, particularly in the most recent year, about $4,000 cheaper per FTE student that it cost us versus the Kansas Community College average. So a good job there from an efficiency perspective. Metric 3.3. So this is one component of our professional development hours. So this is faculty development led hours. So this is the faculty development group that Mark Jarvis leads, the number of hours per year that faculty take in professional development through that organization. And metric 3.4, kind of an HR metric looking at our turnover. Got this broken out by 3 different employee classes, and we'll enhance this in the future to kind of show some trend activity. But this is a new one that we're pulling together and tracking.
So we turned over 38% of our operational staff in a year. Is that typical? That seems really high.
Over multiple times.
Oh, okay.
That's right. So, yeah, it's mostly in the lower paid category. Until we changed it recently to the $15.65 per hour, we've seen a lot less turnover. So a little more retention.
Okay, moving on to the last page of the information. Goal 4, institutional sustainability and growth. So metric 4.1 is really showing our revenue mix and diversification. The general model that the K Board would like us to follow is a third of your funding from mill levy, a third of your funding from state, a third of your funding from tuition. And in many years, we are close to that. We can see how the student revenue has been increasing and is kind of the largest component of those three different sourcings. State revenue is our second largest source, and then local mill levy revenue is our third largest source of income. Metric 4.2, this is a perspective on our deferred maintenance designated reserve. So how much we had in that reserve at a particular point in time, and how much we spent within the year towards capital improvements and deferred maintenance. So we can see how that usage has changed over time and how that balance has changed over time, and when we might need to consider replenishing that fund by whatever source we would need. Metrics 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5 are some good efficiency metrics. So 4.3, we can see our bill ratio. So we'll have a cap on enrollment for a particular class, to say 25 on average. So this is telling us that over time, we have had more students enrolled in that course, getting closer to that cap, so more efficiently putting students in the classroom. And that will correlate with the average class size that you see in metric 4.4. So that has been slowly increasing, in particular AY 25, very good numbers there. That is a slightly different metric than the student faculty ratio, so don't confuse the two. The student faculty will include faculty, and it will also make different calculations for part-time versus full-time. This is just kids in seats. And metric 4.5, this is kind of a breakout of our enrollment, both by number and by percentage of students in different course sections. So one thing that I would draw your attention to is, particularly in the last couple of falls, we have seen a pretty dramatic decrease in the very small classes, so 1 to 5. Whereas years ago, we would have 50% of our enrollment there. Now it's less than 10. So again, that speaks to kind of a drive towards efficiency and drive towards more appropriate class sizes. So that's that section. Any question there? Okay. Last two sections, goal 5, championing excellence and innovation. So 5.1, we're just looking at the new different programs that we've launched year after year, associate's degree, certificates, and SAPs. Pretty steady pipeline of new programs that we are reviewing and offering to our students. Metric 5.2, this is the impact that we've had across our community from the business and industry funding. Just this past year, we've had 51 different career and workforce education partners. The funding has impacted over 4,000 students, so very good impact from that. And then lastly, highlighting our audit findings. So Dave mentioned another clean audit we've had this year. Past 5 years worth of audits, 0 significant deficiencies, 1 material weakness a few years ago that was remedied. So this will be a new set of information that will be available in every board book. I'd certainly welcome any feedback on additions, changes, whatnot. A few of these will change each month, but not consistently.
Looks good.
Great information.
Mhm.
Thanks,
All right.
Wade. Yep.
Is there any way of making it just a hair bigger?
I can
I
look at
haven't
that.
got them yet, but I ordered them.
All right. Duly noted.
Okay, moving on. Those were our strategic discussion items. Moving on to board action items. First one is the 600 building remodel.
Yes, thank you. So currently, we have several services for students that are kind of spread out. And our hope here is to be able to align our physical space with the student needs. and bring those all into the 600 building. Right now, the testing center is upstairs in the 600 building, whereas enrollment is downstairs. Enrollment and all of our other services are there, but students, if they need to placement test, have to go upstairs. And sometimes they wander around and can get lost. And then also new students oftentimes need to go over and activate their account or talk to the service desk about their account. That's over in the student union. And so with this proposal is we would bring the service desk over to the 600 building. So bring the testing center down, the service desk into the building, and then relocate adult ed from that lower level upstairs to where the testing center is, and also make use of the offices located adjacent to that space. Because currently adult ed has classrooms in the 600 building, but they have offices in other buildings across campus. So this will bring them all into one space as well. So we really do feel like this will help with student efficiencies, staffing efficiencies. It'll allow for backup personnel within our testing center. They'll be right there close to disability services. So if we have a student that needs accommodation testing, that'll be readily available as well. So this is our plan. We do have student success dollars to fund this project. And we feel like this would be a great time to move forward with this in light of some of the other projects that Ireland is going to talk about here in a little bit.
Completion date?
Would be this summer.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to recommend that we approve the allocation of $225,498 in student success funds for the 600 building remodel as described.
And I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve it. Any discussion?
Yeah, Ireland, can you explain the owner furnished architect and engineering fees that aren't included in the bid? Or am I misreading that? It's page 28 or page 1 of the Simpson Construction Services.
Actually, we're covering them out of another fund. They're minimal. I was covering them out of this 600 HVAC project. So it's a couple $1,000 is all it is. So.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear.
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, that passes 6-0. Thank you all. Moving on, Ireland, the 600 HVAC upgrade.
Yes, the 600 upgrade. Back in February 25, we hired Simpson Construction and Gravity Works as CMR to design the heating air projects in the 700 and 600 building. The 700 building was completed last summer. And the 600 is scheduled for this summer if it is approved. We had actually started out designing this project over a year ago, and it was over $1.5 million over budget of the money that we had to pay for it. So we have worked the project down to several phases. Phase 1 is this project here. And I would recommend you take your ink pen and pencil and add another 0 right to that. It's not $1,250, it's 1.25 million. So, but this will take out one of the 3 air handlers that was installed in the 60s, put a new one in. It'll take out all the old hydronic piping, which is the water piping that we heat and cool with. At this time, that building is a 2-pipe system building, which means I either have heat or cooling. I don't have both. So times like this in the spring, building can either be hot or cold if I made my change. We're adding 4 pipes in, so I'll be able to have a heating and cooling throughout the building. We're actually taking the piping to the other 2 air handlers, so they'll be able to cool 12 months out of the year too. some of the mechanical contractors that are bidding on this are in the process. It's Cruise, P1, CMW, Central Mechanical, and 5-Star. This here is a not to exceed price for this project, and we're pretty confident that we'll be able to do it for that. I think this is a great opportunity. Over the last 4 projects that Simpson's completed for us, the 1,600 and 300 building, we came in about 9,000 under on budget. The 500, which is the gym, we totally gutted it. It was an HVAC project. We came in 96,000 under on that. And on the 700 building, the one we just completed, we came in 132,000 under on that. And what that does is it frees up those funds to do other projects. So very unusual to come in under budget on all these projects. So any questions? Yes.
So you're replacing late 1960s equipment?
Yes.
That lasted a long time. What's
it
the
did.
like?
Life expectancy for equipment nowadays is not quite as long because of all the technology and stuff, but all the air handlers are past their life expectancy. Steel piping and stuff is between 25 and 30 years life expectancy. So we have gone beyond that. Back in 2016, we actually replaced all the underground piping infrastructure because we was having quite a few leaks that was installed in 1965, 66, and 67. So during that project, we actually took 4 pipes underground to every building. So for future projects, we had the opportunity to actually add the 4 pipe systems to each of those projects. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
With that, I'll move that the Board of Trustees approve Simpson Construction to complete phase 1 of the 600 building HVAC upgrade at a budget not to exceed $1,250,000.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
That also passes 6-0. Thank you all. Moving on to the library group study room.
Project, thank you. So this project is to cover another group study room in the library. We do have one. We converted a computer lab into a group study room. Of course, we did that before COVID. And since COVID, of course, it decreased with less students, but it has in the last 2 years been used quite heavily, that one room. And as I found out that it was the only group study room on campus at this point. I didn't really realize that until students were complaining to me, like, this is the only room we have. So this project is to provide another group study room for 6 people inside the library.
Are students not able to check out a classroom in the evening for if there's not a course being held in it?
No, we don't really have any. Set that up.
Most of the students coming in are coming in during the day.
Oh, okay.
As I said here, in 1 week, actually in 1 day, we had to turn away 4 groups. I think everyone was having tests the next day, then they were all coming in. Some of it is nursing students, but it also other students are using it. And they're using it not as for classes, but just to come in and study together. You're seeing a lot of students wanting to be together and work together more. It's just a kind of a change than what I was seeing right after COVID. The company that does this, they have, I think what's very important is it is ADA compliant. So we do have some students with disability issues, so I think that is also very important to have.
This has been kind of a common trend across community colleges in general the last few years. I mean, they get very creative. There's even some study rooms like this where they have put some basically toys and equipment in there for a child so that a parent could bring their child in and be in an enclosed area. There's all kinds of creative ways these have come about, but it's kind of great that the students are coming back together and wanting to be in an environment together and really spending time studying. So it's kind of exciting in that regard.
And it is very, as a librarian, it's very hard for me to say no. I'm sorry.
So what are you giving up?
We have space. We have weeded the collection, and so we've reduced our shelf space and we made space. Right now, we do have individual study pods in the area where I'll put the big room. But we have old study carrels, old furniture that needs to go, that's not really being used. I can move those pods in there and then use the space I'm using for the individual pods for the group room.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to see the board approve the one-time payment of $33,595.15 for a new library group study room.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion? Hearing none.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Thank you very much. That passes 6-0. Ireland, you are back up. The Andover Road.
Andover roads. Okay, back in 2009 and 20, when we remodeled 5,000, added 4,500 building, this project was actually in the original scope of work because the city was going to require us to close that north entrance and we were going to add a south entrance. Since the project was deferred for 5-6 years, we decided to pull it from the scope, and I'm bringing it back from now because we have to take care of that. So
And they did open up Yorktown, didn't they?
they opened it up last Thursday. Yes.
So both north entrances are going to close or just one of the two?
Just the one, I would call it the main entrance on the east side. The east entrance will close because it's too close to the corner. And then when we have an entrance, we'll still have the west entrance on the west side of the building. We have a east entrance off the new street. Then we'll have this south entrance off of at the other street.
So the westernmost entrance on 13th will still be there.
It will still be there, yes.
Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that the board approve of Simpson Construction for the entrance road project in the amount not to exceed $125,000.
I'll second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Passes 6-0. Thank you all. Thanks, Arlen. Next up is Snap-on toolboxes for the diesel technology program. Dr. Linden, are you handling that one? Okay.
Good evening. This is being requested to assure that we have state-of-the-art tools for the diesel technology program. We are doing this in small pieces and portions in terms of the tool request itself. Each Snap-on toolkit, which is top of the line and industry recognized, is going to be shared by 2 students. So that's why we're only requesting 8 units versus the 16, which is the capacity for the program itself. And it's reflecting the total cost, which came to $123,000.
Are you buying it locally?
We do have a local Snap-on vendor.
You have 2 of them.
the actual vendor we went with then, Todd, was?
The actual vendor that we have is the Snap-on Industrial Representative. It's not one of the, he is local to the area. He is not one of them that drives the white trucks around. And we are buying these for less than the drivers of the white trucks and buy them stock on their. What the school devices.
I like the way you talk. That's exactly what you're doing. Thank you. So it's, where are we sending the check to?
It'll go.
Illinois?
It'll go.
In Illinois?
It won't go to the, to the
Person,
vendor,
okay.
the person.
Did you guys shop out any other vendors for the tools at all, or just sticking with Snap-on?
Well, the industry standard is Snap-on, and we did look at other vendors. And the lifetime durability of those other vendors' products would just end up costing us more money over the long term.
I'm just curious because I've been building cars and racing cars and building engines and taking cars apart, and repainting them for 50 years. And I never bought Snap-on stuff because I thought it was way, way, way too high. So I always bought Craftsman and some others that are lifetime warranty, and they're a fraction of what these tools cost. That's why I was curious if we shopped any other vendors. And I mean, when I say a fraction, I mean fraction of the cost. I don't have a particular objection to Snap-on's great tools, don't get me wrong, and they service well and the trucks are around and get what you need. But you can generally, get some other stuff just as easily, but it's lifetime warranty. I did have a question, but where's the funding coming from for this? It says Apprentice Grant Fund.
That's correct. The Apprenticeship Grant Fund is the source for this.
Okay, so it's, I don't have an objection to that. But I gotta tell you, I looked at some of the prices of these individual tools and talked about sticker shock. Yeah.
What do you think?
Coming up here, Todd.
Or you can sit at Shelby's chair if you want.
All right, I'll take Shelby's spot for the moment. My garage is full of Snap-on.
Why?
I am,
Paid a whole lot for all of that to have.
you're
probably
correct.
The same quality of stuff that I have.
No, it is not. I beg to differ. And if you are not doing this professionally, if this is not where your paycheck is coming from, Craftsman is great. I do mean great. But when you start depending on that tool for your paycheck, it's not. It's not the same. Also, to look at the same, it does have a lifetime guarantee, but when the Snap-on tool breaks, because they will, the next week, that guy's back, or the tech picks up the phone and he drops the tool off on his way by because he needs it. But if you have a Craftsman, and Craftsman is not near what it used to be.
No, it's not.
It is not, but still on that aspect of Craftsman or any other tool, who do you call?
Yeah.
You don't.
I
You
understand.
spend 1 to 2 hours of your time, your free time, to go replace your tool.
The service aspect Snap-on has been
That is,
excellent forever because they have people that drive around with tools in place. Yes, if you do have one break, you have to go to some place that has Craftsman and they will exchange it. There's lots of places that do. And I did work as a guy who built race cars and ran a custom shop for about 20 years. And I had nothing but Craftsman stuff. And so I made a living using them. And I gotta tell you, I didn't have much problem with them at all. And I could go get stuff. I beg to differ on the quality of them. That certainly Snap-on, very good tools. The service is phenomenal. But when it came to the cost to my business of having those tools, it was too much. So I stayed with this Craftsman and got away with it because I apparently made a lot of money. But again, you're doing really heavy equipment stuff, which makes a difference, and breaking down motors and cars and stuff like that when you're getting into decent mechanics. some of the stuff that goes there, but I just was sticker shock more than what I remember Snap-on being. But that's why I don't have a problem with it necessarily, just the cost. If it was coming, if it was a budget issue for us, it'd be different. But since the funding is available, yeah, it's very serviceable, very good stuff. But when I see anything that's really, really high that may cost college money, I'm going to speak up.
I don't blame you at all for that. And I have said repeatedly that I will not ask for anything from my program that I do not buy for myself. And the Craftsman stuff today is not the Craftsman stuff you have.
Probably
Because
not.
I still have Craftsman stuff that my dad had and that I had bought 30 plus years ago. So some of that stuff is, it was just better then.
It all changes. It's just
It
like when I
does.
started out doing stuff, it was SK tools. Moved forward and follow that. Thorns bought stuff out. But my point is that those are really, really expensive tools and it makes a huge difference in cost. I'd look at some other vendors, but given where the funding's coming from, the quality of the tools, the availability, and like you say, if something breaks, you go get it. But, I've never had a problem going and getting a tool. I need a place of Craftsman either, as far as that goes. 'Cause so many places sell Craftsman. It just used to be Sears.
Yeah.
Now it's all.
But the point on that though is you do have to go get it done.
Absolutely.
Whereas with the Snap-on stuff, it's a phone call or a text
Right.
now away from being here.
And always has.
So, and always has
That's why
been.
they have a premium price on it.
It is.
How many students are in your class?
There are 8 now.
So we're buying how many toolboxes?
8.
And 2,
My cap is 16. So I would put 2 students to a box.
The quantity of tools across the board is 10. That suggests to me we're buying
That
10
was,
sets, not 8.
that was a previous quote. I believe that, thought that got updated,
It should.
but we will make sure that that's down to the,
Is
to
the
the
number
8 mark.
Is the number you're asking for reflective of 10 or reflective of 8?
It's reflective of 8.
Of 8.
Okay.
It is 8. And internally, we had the same conversation about the purchase because we were very conscious about the price itself. But here again, very similar to the discussion that was just had today. We landed on this thinking it was more of an investment in the future of the students in the program than an immediate expense. So in the long run, saving the college money and better serving the students.
so is this class in Andover, Rose Hill,
It's right here in El Dorado.
in El Dorado?
In the 400 building.
And tell me again what class is in Rose Hill?
Welding.
Welding, thank you.
I don't want to beat this horse, but the quote that's for 10 of everything, the final number is what matches the number of what you're asking for.
I believe that was due to we asked for 8, but I don't know as we went through and cleared off the 10 count
Right after
on
the,
that, but that would
right.
be
after the
that
discussion
will
we
be
had
done.
internally, there was an
it will be
updated.
8, not 10.
Mhm.
I mean, did we generate our own quote or did they generate a quote? for
They
us?
generated a quote for us and then we generated we took 2 of the boxes off of the final number.
But the quote they generated was for 10.
Was for
boxes
10, yeah.
For 123,000. And this is
No.
their quote document. This isn't something we
Yeah,
generated.
That's 10.
Oh, so it says, so the total is 154, but then total for 8 boxes is 120.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Here it
Okay,
is.
okay,
Brought down. Let's get.
thanks. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
So we would appreciate your support and consideration of this, and we'll entertain any other questions you might have.
I'd recommend we approve funding for the diesel technology toolboxes in the amount of 123,561.36.
Second,
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Do we have any other discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, that passes 6-0. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on, that time of year again, room and meal plan rates.
Are you doing? room
I
rate?
I am. There's basketball going on and I actually serve on the resident hall. I actually, that's fine. I may not have all the answers, but I'll do my best. Do you have any questions? We have not checked everyone. We've tried to check, but some of them will not give us their rates, so. But as you can see, quite a few are listed on here for last year's rates. Most of them haven't decided on their rates yet or will not tell us. As you can see, this year increase is of 4.1% because of the meal plan increase. And the additional is to cover the increase in supplies and materials and stuff. So in order to, and also to help cover the new prox blocks, access controls, this also, there's a percentage in there to help cover that too.
So these community colleges you have listed on page 56, those are last year's.
Yes, that is
And
correct.
then there's ours.
Well, and that's their meal plans that they have attached to it too.
Have we ever felt price sensitivity in terms of dorm occupancy and what we're charging?
We actually look at that each year, and yes, we talk about it each year to decide if we're going to start pricing our way out. But we always have a waiting list, and we've heard from several of you to make sure we are charging the student enough to cover our cost, and that's what it's looking at. If you can look at the list, I think there's a budget list of what we spend on different items throughout the year. It's very minimal on maintenance compared to the whole budget.
I don't see it.
Okay, hold on a minute. It will be on a page numbers on mine. The expenditure budget, which
Oh, I don't think we have that. That's part of the board book.
you don't have that?
Not this month.
Okay.
I only asked because it looked like comparing us to the other community colleges, our rates tend to be quite a bit on the higher side of those. And I just didn't know if
Correct.
if we're not seeing.
You know, I'm
still
not,
having full- Still having full dorms with a wait list, then we haven't priced ourselves out of the market yet.
we are, and from
One of our
what I,
is 60 years old.
and from what I've heard is some schools, subsidize these fees out of the general budget. I don't know which ones, but that's what, so.
We had 120 students on the fall waiting list for the dorms. And we have a 91% occupancy this spring. We were 100% in the fall, and just the difference of the athletes that left, the few athletes that left. So we've got a demand 120 across the board for anything we would have open. So we have lots of room and requests from students, not even close to.
Do the students commit to?
Right.
Do they commit to using a space for the academic year? And if they choose to leave in spring?
I think it's per semester because. Is it a
It is
year?
year contract.
Okay.
They're charged if they leave. They are.
We hold to that, or do they transfer them? I assume if we
That's
can
a
find
good
somebody else
question.
to fill the room, we don't worry about it, but if we can't.
I would assume so, Heather?
We do, the students sign a contract and they are obligated to pay that. There are a few instances where they can get out of that contract.
Such
But
as,
I was afraid you would ask.
I
that.
know. Sickness.
If they graduate, if they move back home, and if home is within a 60-mile radius, something along those lines, then there might be a third. but those are the two I know of. But yes, the students are billed for that agreement.
And they do pay.
If they do not pay, they go to collections.
What do we have in collections right now?
Don't ask me that question right now, either. But we can get that for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions I may be able to answer?
You're doing pretty well so far.
Done very well.
We actually budget. This here budget was set on a 91% occupancy. So this increase.
And I know it was a long time ago when I went to school, my parents had to pay for a semester and a semester, on a year-long contract.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions? If not, Mary Martha, you look anxious to make this motion.
I really don't, but I will. Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve this rate structure. Do I need to read everything off?
I think as presented is fine.
As presented and from Ireland. Make sure you get that in the notes, please.
And I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the rate structure that is, as it's been presented on page 55 of our board book. Do we have any other discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yeah.
trustee Shear.
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, that also passes 6-0. Thank you all. Thanks, Ireland. Cannot have action items without something from my Ts.
Perfect. I'm always glad to talk to you every month. I know you miss me. Butler Community College, through the Information Services Division, manages a 5-year computer replacement cycle for approximately 2,500 computers. And these computers are used by faculty, staff, and students. This does not include the My Butler Laptop program. As a part of our replacement cycle process, conduct a detailed audit every year, and we assess computers based on their usage. And then from there, we decide what amount of computers need to be replaced. This year's audit, we reduced our original replacement list from 349 computers to 309 computers. So we did make a reduction this year. One factor I want to point out that has significantly impacted this year's purchase is the current market conditions in the technology industry. With the rapid expansion of artificial intelligence and the data warehouses that have been spun up for artificial intelligence has created a lack of hardware in the environment. And so there is a huge demand for technology peripherals and hardware such as your memory, your GPUs, and your CPUs. And I predict, and I'm sure Matt will agree with me, that this is not a one-year issue. This is going to be a multi-year issue because it takes a while to spin up those data centers, and AI isn't going away anytime soon. So until industry can get up to manufacturing the amount of technology needed, we're going to see an increase in these technology costs. Because of the demand, computers that we quoted in February with that initial quote process and to the quote that you have in front of you today was a 5% increase. All of our vendors that we work with and we seek quotes from have all emailed us this month saying March 1st pricing will go up. So if you don't have a quote in place, then you're going to have an increase in price. The validity of our quotes have now been reduced from 30 days to 15 days. So those vendors and partners are only supporting those quotes for 15 days. So we have a very short window with this quote. And if we don't move forward, we will see another increase in the cost for our technology that we need for replacement.
Has Amy called and said, this is what we're going to pay?
Amy has done a really good job, and so has Matt in trying to negotiate those prices. Yeah. And just to give some context too, we're evaluating, you know, our esports lounges that we have. Our leases are coming up for renewal in May, and we're evaluating what we want to do with the replacement of that technology. And a gaming computer that we quoted a few weeks ago was $2,100. It is now $2,500. Like, it is just crazy how quickly the prices are increasing. And it's not just a Butler thing. Like, this is an issue across all the technology.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a Shelby question.
I love it.
What are you gonna do with the old computers?
We send them to recycle mostly. So I'm going to backtrack a little bit, and Matt's here to correct me if I mess this up. We are actually going to take some of those computers and repurpose them for our digital signage solutions. So we can we need to replace our TVs. They are starting to fail. And so a cost-effective way is to buy consumer-grade TVs or cheaper TVs, and then put a computer behind it to run our digital signage. So we are trying to reduce our costs as much as possible, provide to what we need for the institution. But most of them will go to replacement, or sorry, to but we will send them off for e-waste. Thank you, Matt.
And they don't purchase, they call our hand for free, which is the college, otherwise, both of it, normal enough.
With that, I'll make the motion that the Board of Trustees goes with Information Services recommendation to approve the purchase of 309 Dell desktops and laptops computers for the total not to exceed $365,292.55.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shear,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, that passes 6-0. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Christine. Act on marketing. Oh, Kelly.
Good evening. In 2020, during COVID, actually, marketing implemented Acton as a marketing automation system. And about a year before that, I'd been to conference and fell in love with another solution that was marketing automation. And I was just like, oh, this is so cool. We've got to go get this. And it was $250,000. So I didn't get to do that one. So we went back and investigated and looked around and found Acton. And we were able to absorb the cost for its initial launch with 25 contacts back in 2020. And it allows us to spin up our landing pages easily. All of our teammates in marketing can do that. And it also allows us to create email drip campaigns. So when those display ads hit, you can click on that. We'll take you to our landing page, fill out a form, and then it becomes a contact system for us where we can gauge interest in programs. Then that software now syncs to the CRM in student services. So when that student does enough, it can flag the enrollment coach, and magic happens, as you have heard from some students who have talked to you about the magic of what our enrollment coaches do. So this is a renewal. It's a 1-year renewal for Acton, and it's for 75,000 contacts. And that gives us a little room for growth. But right now we're sitting at about 70% of this contract, which is where our rep says is a good place to be. Allows us to grow with additional campaign launches, that we might do. So anyway, I ask you to renew that again so we can keep that machine running.
Okay, Kelly, am I reading this right that it would be for $35,505?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And then what do you do? Does it go ahead and go on once the student enrolls?
Once they, in our system with Recruit, once they apply they're popping out of our system and allows us to go after others. So that 75,000 is constantly, my contact list is constantly going up and down based on activity.
So is this where Aiden gets his data for graduation?
No, he would get his data from Banner. Acton is at the very, very top of the funnel. We're just checking the leads and we're trying to get them to say, I'm interested. And then once, working with the enrollment coach, when they fill out an application, then they're popping out of Acton and going into a different flow that we support with through student services. Yeah.
Is this a software program that you're gonna use again in another year?
Well, that's why we're doing 1 year, because we know with our budget and our reviews of everything, this will give us a year and give us an opportunity to change up if we do need to. So we're flexible to that possibility.
Then discount, if you had any kind of a will renew again.
There would have been a discount if we would have done a longer, but because of the other reviews and with recruit and everything, we decided to just do a year and then we'll gauge where we're at.
Then with that, I'll move that the Board of Trustees approve the attached contract agreement with Acton for $35,505.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Not?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
That passes 6-0. Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Last action item for the evening, the simulation AV equipment for healthcare. Janet, the floor is yours.
It is, and I'm standing between you and the basketball games, right? So this is what I think our final request for this academic year for the SBA training. It is to install the AV equipment for simulation video debriefing. It is the same company that we use currently, both here in El Dorado and in Winfield. We were able to reduce based on experience and understanding of what our needs are. So we identified, really kind of reduce the cost. We were able to keep the cost as low as we possibly can and provide the services. We all obviously always have the opportunity to add cameras if we feel that we need to, and that's not going to be too difficult. The really nice thing about Vault is that they recently, since we first installed here in El Dorado, they've upgraded their electrical inputs. So instead of having to add a bunch of electrical outlets, which was very costly, they have gone to something that I don't know what it is. It's an IT word. POE. POE. And so that has helped tremendously. We also took this opportunity, though, to really look at multiple different companies to determine whether or not this would be a good opportunity to move away from Vault. Vault does have an annual subscription fee of $18,000, and they are planning to increase that by 5 or 10% every year annually. But when we looked at the comparison and we asked Vault directly about that, they really said that how we were set up originally is unlike anybody in the country, is what they tell me. In that we were really given a very good price and a very low price, but from their perspective, it's the $18,000 over consecutive years where they kind of recoup their cost. So instead of paying these costs up front, we're spreading out our payments over, 5 or 10 years. So the cost comparison versus what we get from Vault and what they provide for us, it really is most economical, is what our committee decided to stay with Vault. We purchased 50 licenses from the very beginning, and we will now be using 49. I think we'll have one more, but 49 of those licenses. So then we are now at full capacity. Moving forward, if we decided we wanted to add something, we can unhook things. Every license is based on an HDMI input. So if we want to have 3 cameras here, then we just have to reduce 1 camera over here in order to make 3. So we still have flexibility, I guess is what I'm trying to say, even though we're at our max licenses. So, any questions beyond that? Hopefully. And I can really help Judy with the space in the library, or you guys can help me help Judy by just building a brand new building for nursing. And we can include study rooms for our students and other stuff. So, but we appreciate your time and support.
Mr.
Questions?
Chairman, I'd like the trustees to approve the cost of Vault AV for a total of $74,310.75. The money will come from Carl Perkins Reserve Grant.
We have a second. So we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay,
Thank you,
6-0.
guys.
Thank you, Janet. So when will the SBA Simulation Center be fully up and running?
Well, tomorrow, tomorrow, my hope is to put in a PO so that we can schedule the vault installation for late April, early May. And as long as that happens, it could be operational over the summer. However, we don't have anything scheduled for the summer. And so if you would put on your tentative calendars, August 6th, we're hoping to have a ribbon cutting and open house on August 6th.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you.
You bet.
I'm sure Jennifer will get us all straight on that when it gets closer. Okay, that's all our action items. Move on, would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
Have a second.
Second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes.
Yes.
Trustee Hueslick,
Yes.
trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, 6-0, thanks, everybody. The KPIs we talked about earlier. Dr. Daniel, anything else towards the end that's worthy of note? I know we have an exec session. Anything before that? Okay.
Just one thing I noticed on the calendar for March, it still has the work session on the 23rd. I believe we've agreed to the 30th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, would entertain a motion to take us into exec session. The language is on page 125. If you would also add Kent Williams to the list of attendees. Excuse me.
Okay, since I'm already on that page, I move that the board recess into executive session to discuss negotiations pursuant to the open meetings exceptions for said matters related to employer-employee negotiations, and that the board, President Tamara Daniel and Shelley Stoltz and Kent Williams be included. This meeting will resume within 60 minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Trustee Good,
Yes.
trustee Howell,
Yes.
trustee Rhodes,
Yes.
trustee Hueslick.
Yes.
Trustee Shearer,
Yes.
trustee Brown,
Yes.
and trustee Smith is absent.
Okay, as we've done before, we will recess into Dr. Daniel's conference room, and when we come back out, we'll note the times in and out, but we have nothing else on the agenda except